There's something more painful than a clear rejection, an ambiguous relationship, a bond where you're not chosen, but you're not released either. He doesn't fully love you, but he won't let you go. He reaches out when he feels lonely, but avoids you when you get too close. And that contradiction, that mix of desire and fear, of need and rejection, is one of the most confusing and hurtful ways of connecting. And even though it may not seem like it, Friedrich Nietzsche understood it better than anyone. Nietzsche wasn't a self-help author. He was a radical thinker. But amidst his ideas about power, suffering, and existence, there are raw truths about how we love, how we bond, and how we sabotage ourselves. He once said, "Man is a rope stretched between the animal and the superhuman. We're constantly at war, between what we want and what we fear, between what we feel and what we dare to live." And that's why, many times, someone can feel something for you, but still not be ready to love you. Nietzsche said, "Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed." And loving truly means destroying many illusions. The illusion that love doesn't hurt, the illusion that we can control everything, the illusion that we can love without revealing our wounds. Some people feel affection, attraction, even connection, but they cannot love from a healthy place, because loving takes courage. And for many, love feels like a threat to their independence, a threat to their ego, a threat to the image they've built of themselves. Nietzsche spoke of the eternal return, the idea that we are doomed to repeat the same patterns again and again until we face them with awareness. And in love, that happens too. Someone might not love you, but won't let you go either, because repeating that ambiguous bond gives them a false sense of control. It's as if, unconsciously, they needed to confirm an old story, that love is always unsafe, that no one ever truly loves them, that people can't be trusted. Letting you go would mean letting go of that story, and they can't, because if they do, they'll have to face their wound, and many prefer to hurt themselves rather than look within. Nietzsche said, "All things are subject to interpretation. Whichever interpretation prevails at a given time is a function of power and not truth." And here lies the trap. Because someone who can't love you well can still act in ways that seem like love. Late-night messages, half-confessions, deep stares, or silence heavy with meaning. But often that isn't love. It's attachment. It's fear. It's ego. He can't love you, but he also can't stand to see you free. He doesn't want to lose you, but he won't build anything real. And there you are, stuck in the middle, waiting for signs, overanalyzing gestures, clinging to crumbs. Nietzsche said, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." And sometimes, letting go of someone who doesn't love you is that necessary chaos, that internal explosion that forces you to look at yourself, to rebuild, to choose yourself. Because if you stay waiting for love where there is none, you end up losing yourself. He also said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." And that applies not only to life, but to love. What is your why in a relationship? Are you there to feel chosen, to heal the other, or to live a real experience, where love is given without fear? It can also happen that, without meaning to, you become a mirror for that person, that you reflect everything they can't yet face within themselves. Their lack of purpose, their wound of abandonment, their fear of rejection. And here comes another Nietzschean idea. If you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you. Deep love brings out light, but also shadow, and some people can't handle that mirror. They need you, but they reject you, because being with you forces them to stop lying to themselves. And so the contradiction becomes unbearable. That's why they hurt you, not because you are the problem, but because you reflect everything they haven't healed yet. And often, the issue isn't that they don't feel something for you, but that they don't know how to hold it. Because staying takes more than desire. It takes emotional responsibility, bravery, real presence. Nietzsche would say it requires a revaluation of all values, questioning what we've been taught, breaking the shell, and stopping the habit of measuring life with fear. And not everyone is willing to do that. That's why they prefer to stay halfway. Step forward, then back. Come closer, then disappear. Not because you're not worthy, but because their entire inner structure crumbles when love becomes real. And faced with that, they run, not from you, but from themselves. But just because they can't choose you doesn't mean you can't choose yourself. And that is the most powerful decision you can make. Nietzsche didn't speak about romantic love, but he did speak about freedom, about courage, about integrity. Choosing not to stay in confusion isn't coldness, it's respect for your soul. Letting go of someone who can't love you isn't pride, it's maturity. Because love is not only what you feel, it's what you do with what you feel. And if what you do is wait forever, then you're not loving yourself. Nietzsche would say, become who you are, even if the ground shakes beneath your feet. Because that's where true love begins. The self-love, the free kind, the one that doesn't beg, doesn't doubt, and doesn't stay in ruins. When someone keeps you close but won't commit, they drag you into their own internal contradiction. And if you're not clear about who you are, you might spend years stuck in it, confusing intensity with love, confusing attachment with destiny, confusing silence with depth. But as Nietzsche said, that which does not kill us makes us stronger. Letting go of someone who doesn't love you, even if they can't let you go, is an act of inner strength. Not to punish, not to take revenge, but to protect your energy, your heart, your story. Nietzsche spoke of the Übermensch, the superhuman, a person who creates their own values, who doesn't repeat inherited patterns, who dares to live with courage. That ideal isn't unreachable. It's a path. And part of that path is to say, I won't be anyone's option. I won't beg for love. I won't wait for someone who hasn't even chosen themselves. Sometimes, it's not that they don't love you at all. It's that they don't love themselves. And from that place, they can't give you what they don't have. But you can choose differently. You can choose you. Because as Nietzsche said, become who you truly are. And if someone can't love you on that path, then maybe the best thing you can do is let go of their contradiction so you don't betray your truth.